All right, today on The Explainer, we are digging into an absolute treasure trove, a playbook for high performance that is, well, it's unlike anything else out there. Seriously, just think about that for a second. What if success wasn't just luck? What if it's not some random accident, but actually a formula, a set of habits, tools, and mindsets that you could, study, copy, and actually use in your own life? Well, that's exactly the big idea we're diving into today. And this all comes from the book Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss, who is kind of the ultimate human guinea pig. I mean, for years, he sat down with over 200 of the most incredible people on the planet for his podcast. We're talking Navy SEALs, billionaire investors, famous doctors, the whole spectrum. And he basically took all their secrets, all their routines, and boiled them down into this one incredible book. And that's our guy, Tim Ferriss. He's not just some journalist writing things down. No. He's an obsessive self-experimenter. He literally tried all this stuff himself. In high-stakes business deals, in the gym, on his own body, he did the hard work of figuring out what actually works and what's just fluff. And he broke it all down into 3 big sections, starting with the one thing that underpins everything else. Okay, section 1, forging the body. It's all about the physical stuff. The idea here is simple. Before you can get your mind right or your money right, you've got to get your biology in check. So let's look at how these top performers tune their bodies. And trust me, some of these tools are, well, they're not what you'd expect. Yeah, when most of us hear the word fasting, we think, hunger, weakness, being miserable, right? But what if that's totally backwards? The book throws that idea right out the window. So one of the first big tools is fasting. But here's the twist. It's not about losing weight. It's about achieving peak performance. And to explain this, the book introduces us to a top researcher, Dr. Dom D'Agostino, who's a huge expert in this metabolic state you might have heard of called ketosis. So how powerful are we talking? Get this. That number, 600 pounds, that's what Dr. D'Agostino deadlifted for reps. But the craziest part? He did it after fasting for several days. I mean, that just shatters the whole idea that fasting makes you weak. It proves it can fuel these insane feats of strength. Okay, so what's the science here? It's ketosis. When you stop eating carbs, your body flips a switch and starts burning fat for fuel instead. And the book breaks it down. This process is actually more efficient. You get more energy for every bit of oxygen you use. And that's a massive advantage if you're, say, an elite athlete or a mountain climber, anyone who needs that sustained energy.
All right, the next tool in the physical toolbox is pretty much the exact opposite of a warm, comfy blanket. We are talking about deliberately getting cold. Strategic cold exposure, made famous by guys like the Iceman, Wim Hof, and legendary surfer Laird Hamilton.
So here's the basic protocol right from the book. You can see the steps. But the real pro tip, the secret sauce, is step 4. Keep your hands out of the water till the last minute or 2. Why? Because your hands are like little radiators for your body. By keeping them out, you can actually stand the cold for way longer, which is what gives you that supercharged recovery and, let's be honest, some serious mental toughness. Okay, so once your body is dialed in, we pivot. We move from the physical to the financial. Section 2, build the bank. But this is not about get-rich-quick nonsense, not at all. It's about a completely different way of thinking about money, about competition, and what it even means to have a successful career. This quote is a bombshell. It's from Peter Thiel, the PayPal co-founder and billionaire investor. And when he says competition is for losers, he's not telling you to be lazy. He's saying, be smarter. Why would you claw your way to the top of a bloody, crowded market when you could just invent a whole new market where you're the only one? And this really gets to the heart of it. It's a huge mindset shift. You know, conventional wisdom says, be better than the other guy. But the Titan mindset, it says, be the only guy. Forget being a little bit better. Create a whole new category. Build a monopoly, not through shady business, but through being so innovative that nobody can touch you. And this whole idea of escaping the competition, it leads to another game-changing concept, especially for anyone who's a creator, an artist, an entrepreneur today. You really don't need millions of followers. You don't have to go viral to have a great career.
So what's with the number 1,000? This is Kevin Kelly's famous 1,000 true fans theory, and it's so beautifully simple. The idea is if you can find just 1,000 true fans, these are people who will buy literally anything you create, and if you can make, say, $100 a year from each of them, well, do the math. That's $100,000 a year living. It completely changes the goal from getting huge numbers to building a deep, meaningful connection with a smaller group. Okay, we've talked body, we've talked bank. Now for the third and honestly maybe the most crucial pillar of all, mastering your own mind. This is the inner game. It's all about resilience, controlling your emotions, and just seeing things as they really are. So let me ask you a question and be honest with yourself. Where does your mind usually hang out? Are you stuck in the past, obsessing about the future? Because one of the wisest gems in this book suggests that your answer tells you pretty much everything you need to know about your state of mind. This quote from Naval Ravikant is just so powerful. It's like a diagnostic tool for your emotions. Depression is living in past regrets. Anxiety is living in future what-ifs. And peace? Well, peace is found right here, right now, in the present. It's a simple but profound roadmap back to the now. Okay, now we're going to get into a topic that's, well, a bit more controversial. The book doesn't shy away from it. It explores the therapeutic potential of psychedelics. And I want to be clear, it's not looking at this from a recreational angle at all. It's framed as a serious tool for a deep mental reboot. So the book dives into some really fascinating stuff here. Ferris himself talks about his own experiences under supervision, calling it a hard reboot for his brain. It also points to real clinical studies where these substances are being used to treat things like severe PTSD and addiction. The common thread through all of it, though, is this incredible ability to just completely shatter your old perspective and give you a new one. All right, so we've gone through the body, the bank, the mind. It's a lot. I know, you might be feeling a little overwhelmed. But that's not the point. The whole goal is for you to feel empowered to just take one small, actionable step. And really, this might be the biggest takeaway of the entire book. The people in here, the Titans, they're not superheroes. They're not gods. They're just practitioners. They have simply found a few small, repeatable habits that they do consistently. And over time, those small habits compound into these absolutely incredible world-class results. And I absolutely love this final quote from Tim because it just brings everything back down to earth. It makes being great feel possible. It's not about being flawless. It's not about being good at everything. It's about finding that one or two things you're uniquely good at and just going all in on them. Every single person in this book is just a normal, flawed human who figured that out. So that leaves us with only one question. The question Tim Ferriss himself would want you to ask. The one that takes all this from just interesting information and turns it into your own personal experiment. So, which tool are you going to test first?